Let's dive straight into the video. The topics I'm going to be covering is how to groom yourself, how your appearance matters, how to create a strong self-perception, emotional discipline, boundaries, men, dating, relationship, and how to balance the energies within you. I saw this reel on my Instagram For You page, and it was about a guy who was overweight. And then when he transformed, his face just changed so much. His features became so defined, and he just looked like an entirely different person. He wrote this quote on a reel: I didn't know people made eye contact until this day. People actually work that way. Your appearance matters. It's a fact, your appearance matters. When you enter a room, the first thing people look at is you, how you present yourself. They don't know how kind you are, how much depth you hold, how intelligent or how smart you are. They don't know your story, they know nothing about you. They just know what they see. And humans judge within seconds. It's neuroscience. The first 3 seconds, the brain already creates an impression of you. If you look put together, if you look polished, people assume you're disciplined and confident. If you look messy, they assume you lack self awareness. And let me make this clear, it's not about seeking external validation. There is a deeper truth to why your appearance matters. The way you present yourself is a direct reflection of how much you value and respect yourself. It's nothing to do with fitting into society's beauty standards. It's about efforts. It's about putting efforts in your micro habits. Take care of your skin, stay clean, smell fresh, fix your posture. These micro habits over a period of time will make yourself look more desirable to you. Like, forget everyone else. The very few things I started with was putting effort into my personal appearance, right? So, how I did this was I went on YouTube and I typed how to grow myself. I learned about the face shape I have. I have an oval face shape. So what kind of hair style, haircut suits? And I went and got that done. And even today I style my hair that way. And I learned about body type. There are different body types. Not every cloth will complement your existing figure, right? You have to learn which body type you belong to and wear dresses that flatter you and elevate you. The dresses that are tailored to your particular body type. Before I even knew about color analysis, I used to wear colors that would make me look wash out, and I used to be like, oh my god, I'm so ugly. But I was so beautiful. It was just the color that was not complementing my skin tone. So I had to choose a color that makes me look good. You have to present yourself with intention. Even if there is no one, even if you're at home, you have to present yourself in a way that you will feel proud about yourself. So I think the best advice you can take from here is invest in your personal style. Do it. Moving on, to build confidence, you have to build a strong level of self perception. The way you see yourself is the most powerful foundation of your entire life. You can never rise above the self image you hold for yourself. Your self perception shapes every interaction, every relationship, every opportunity that life presents to you. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant grows. Start planting love, confidence, and power for yourself. If you plant self doubt or limiting beliefs or unworthiness, these are like weeds, okay? They are going to destroy your mind. Never ever let yourself or someone else plant weeds into your beautiful garden. That is your mind. Your mind is the most powerful weapon there is. Like, it all starts here, it all ends here. Start creating self perception so strong in your mind so your mind does not tolerate or deserve anything less than you've set standards for. Start implementing it from today. The next time you enter a room full of people, walk there like you belong there. Fix your posture and walk like the main character. Walk like people are actually there to see you. Speak like your words matter because they do. Nourish your inner child and tell her everything she's craving to hear and validate her feelings. Start with your self image. Tell yourself everything that you already are. You're smart, you're capable, you're worthy, you're deserving. You can achieve anything you set your mind to. Because once you change the way you see yourself, the world has no choice but to see you with the same energy. For me, the first step of self mastery has to be to learn emotional discipline. If you have to master one thing out of everything that there is, it's your emotional discipline. Don't act on impulse and don't let your emotions dictate your actions. I understand as a woman, we have so much going on, our hormones and mood swings, and we are so always emotionally full and all that. And that is the difference. To become a woman that is powerful, you have to start taking control of your emotions. Don't betray yourself for temporary pleasures or external validations. Choose yourself every single day. Even if it gets hard, even if it's like you feel like you can't do this anymore, you want to go back to your old patterns, I don't care. Choose yourself. I came across this quote that said, learn to control your mouth, mood, mind, and money. For example, if you're holding a glass in your hand, right? Like you're holding a glass and you drop it, the glass just falls on the floor and it shatters and it breaks. Can you get the same glass back? You cannot. Absolutely, you cannot. You can get a different glass, but you can't get the same glass back. Learn to pause and control. There comes so many situations in a daily life that where you have to be reactive and you work on your impulse. That gap between your feeling and your acting is where all your power lies. The minute you give up is where you break the glass. The things you value the most in your life, certain relationships, your peace, and your self respect. If you react before you process, you're gonna ruin them within seconds. You hold the power in mastering the art of communication. If you learn when to talk and when to restrain, you become the strongest force and no one can manipulate. Because some people actually trigger you to get a reaction out of you. So the best reaction you give them is non reaction. Your silence holds more power when you just blabber, 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 overexpress, and get overly emotional. Your tongue, it has so much capacity than you think it does. What builds a woman of value? The woman who people respect? Boundaries. You pick up every call, answer every text, say yes to all the plans when you want to say no. Let people walk over you and wonder why I'm not respected or valued. Imagine the situation, okay? If you are invited to an exclusive VIP event. If your name was on that list, you know it's high status, you know it's high value, you know it's something personal to you. You know that you've earned it because there is strict restrictions, there is rules and regulations, and only a limited people get access to this event. Such a desirable event, everyone wants to be there, but they can't be there. People respect and value it because they can get access to it. You have to meet certain eligibility criteria and prove yourself to be worthy of getting access to that event. Think about you. If you freely give access to your time, your energy, your presence to anyone who asks, why would they respect you? This applies to everything: relationship, friendships, work. If you always show up when people call, they assume you have nothing better to do. If you always keep giving more than you're receiving, they'll keep taking because you're allowing it. People who lack boundaries are not living for themselves. They're living for external validations. And when you're living for external validations, you're always going to live at the mercy of others. Your whole life, your mood, your discipline, your actions will be dictated by how they are going to treat you. Your ego craves on validation, it craves on addiction, it wants to be seen, admired, and it wants to be the king. If you are not careful and don't keep checking on your ego, it will have you perform for people's opinion that do not even know fully about themselves. The more you chase validation, the weaker you become because now your worth is not rooted in yourself, it's rooted in others. Now, something you have to work on is you matter. Only you matter. You don't have to perform for anyone. You don't have to make them feel good or make them feel nice, or don't have to think, oh, they might feel bad if I don't go, or I have to show up and say yes to all the plans. Stop doing that. Stop betraying yourself. Stop doing things when you don't want to do it. Not everybody deserves access to your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, or your energy. Why didn't anybody teach this before? Like, no one taught me in my university or my school, my parents, no one talks about how important it is to learn and understand how to balance your own energies. I'm asking you to imagine to be a queen in the 18th century, the one with the royal family powers and who rules the kingdom and who has those powers that no one else has. Now I'm presenting you with three crowns. Crown one, we have the light feminine. She is intuition, kindness, warmth, beauty. In this energy, you become the effortless radiance that draws people in without you having to lift your finger. It's the way you move, the way you trust, the way you surrender to the flow of life. Woman in her healthy light feminine is irresistible because she does not beg for attention. She becomes the kind of presence people cannot ignore. You wear this crown when you are nurturing, when you're in a place where you feel safe, where you are building relationships or you're deepening an emotional connection, allowing yourself to receive or embrace creativity or pleasure. Only then you use this crown. The next piece of your power, the next crown, is the dark feminine. This is the energy they fear the most. The dark feminine is the part of you that does not beg, that does not chase, that does not tolerate. In this energy, you call your power back. You become the kind of woman who commands respect even without raising her voice. It is the force that burns everything down that no longer serves with, whether it's a connection, a situation, whatever it is. You don't care. If you see that this no longer serves my energy, it's draining my energy, and I have to get past this to move through my vision, you just destroy it. In the cosmos, this is called the death energy, the energy of destruction, release, and rebirth. The healthy dark feminine doesn't close herself off. She chooses consciously of what is worthy of her energy. She is not reactive, she is decisive. She doesn't seek revenge. She moves on like she never met you. And her power is in her absence and not in her efforts. You wear this crown when you're setting boundaries, dealing with disrespect, when you have to reclaim your power back, embracing change, or cutting off what no longer serves you. And especially when you have to make strong, bold moves without having to explain yourself. So, Your Majesty, introducing you to the third piece of your power, the third crown, the divine masculine, without which nothing can move and nothing can manifest. Divine masculine is the energy of discipline, direction, execution, and certainty, without which you are just emotions without actions, ideas without results, and desires without reality. A woman in her divine masculine knows who she is, what she wants, and how to get it without needing validation, approval, or external control. Divine masculine doesn't make you less feminine, it only makes your feminine energy more functional. It keeps you from getting lost in endless emotions, from overthinking and attracting chaos. This is not about becoming like a man. This is about becoming a woman that cannot be swayed or manipulated. You wear this crown when working on your goals and building something futuristic, and stepping into discipline and structure when you know emotions have to take a backseat and logic has to lead. If you stay only in your light feminine energy for a very long time, you enter your wounded light feminine phase. A wounded light feminine is all give and no boundaries. She overgives, overnurtures, and endlessly forgives people who disrespect her. She keeps sitting there to be chosen, not realizing her worth. If you are constantly drained, overlooked, or taken for granted, and you feel like, why am I not enough? Likely that you're operating from your wounded light feminine. So, women usually, after stepping out from their wounded light feminine, after they feel so used and drained, from a place of pain just to protect themselves, from a place of fear, they enter into the dark feminine. So here they're not entering the healthy dark feminine, but they're entering the wounded dark feminine. But when a wounded dark feminine activates, she destroys, detaches, and closes every possible connection, every possible abundance that is on her way, because she lacks trust. When you lack trust, you're blocking all the abundance, because the universe requires you to trust it if you want to attract anything. But when you close that gate of trust off, you become cold. You don't become powerful, you become stagnant. A woman who lives entirely in her purely divine masculine energy, she is the boss girl, right? Too independent, and she feels overly exhausted and drained and disconnected, wondering why, even though she is having and achieving all the success and building her dream life, still does not feel right. A powerful woman, she is not one dimensional. She knows when to be soft, when to be fierce, and when to be bossy. Most women will never reach this level. I'll tell you why. I had a friend, so she came to me and she was talking about her toxic relationship, about how they're on and off, and it just makes her feel so drained, and she feels like it kills herself on the inside, and she does not want to do this anymore. And then she asked me an advice, like, "What do you think I should do?" Because I knew their relationship scenario, which was going on for more than like 2 years, I told her, like, you are done being the soft girl. Like, you are not setting clear boundaries, you're letting him overstep your boundaries, and you've given him enough chances. Like, you can't keep pouring from your cup until it's empty. Like, once your cup is empty, no one is going to value or respect you. So make sure you are firstly intact. So I told, leave him, or like take a break and work on yourself and see how things work. Like, or just leave him. Why don't you deserve you can get anything better? I asked her this. She said, "Yes, I was thinking I should break up." Okay. This is what happened. Fast forward 8 months, I meet her again and she comes to me with the same story. "Shikara, I feel so drained. This relationship is not going well, but I love him. I don't know what to do. It's toxic, but I love him." Like, my internal dialogue throughout this time was like, seriously, it's been 8 months and you're still in the same pathetic situation? I was actually thinking 8 months is enough time for anyone to change their life. And look at you still stuck. I let her complete, I let her finish her story and whatever she wanted to say. And then she asked me, "Shikara, what do you think I should do?" I just looked at her in her eyes and I said, "I don't know." Because I clearly understood that she is not willing to change. There is no point in repeating the same advice to someone who is not ready to change something for themselves. When you have all the knowledge, all the cosmic truths, and everything with you, and you're not ready to implement it in your life, if you're that lazy and you're coming back and still complaining about the same toxic situation you're in, you are making a choice, you are making a decision, you don't want to change. I say this multiple times on all my videos that you have to see that there are better things for you. You have to believe in softer life, you have to believe in better opportunities, connections, everything. Much better things are there for you if you're willing to take actions to align to it. You have to allow these things to happen to you. You can stay in the same situation, block all the abundance, and live in your existing mindset and come back and again complain. But it takes work and effort to change the place you are in. Some people do not want to focus on the solution. They are so attached to the problem, to the pain they're facing, they're not ready to leave it. And anything you focus on just magnifies. So if you focus on the pain, your pain magnifies. You don't see the solution. You don't want to see the solution. You don't even want to explore the solution. If you prayed for guidance, if you have prayed that things have to change, you also have to redirect when the guidance comes in. You have to be willing to change and redirect because guidance comes in, but the actions you take decides your next fate. This was relevant for me to share here because most women will spend their entire life in one energy thinking that's all they were meant to be and meant to live. The universe does not favor extreme, it favors wholeness, and this is why balancing your energies is like literally aligning yourself to the fundamental law of existence. You either master balance or you suffer from imbalance. Like, there is no in between, and that choice you make, it'll dictate and define your entire life. Men, dating, and relationship. This topic is obviously the most important one. But throughout this, any advice I'm gonna give you in this topic, I just want you to remember one thing. The kind of man you allow into your life is going to be so important because it's going to have the implications of your entire life. So choose the man wisely. Be very specific about the kind of man you want, get into the details, set your standards high, and you will attract a man of your dream. If you have to be in harmony with yourself and if you have to create a balance in your life, you have to work with the law of the universe and not against the law of the universe. What I mean by this is when it comes to men, dating, relationship, you be in your feminine. You be in your feminine energy. You are such a blessing. Just the very fact that you're existing in your feminine energy, that's the most divine, most supreme energy in the creation of the universe. She is the creation of life itself. Do you realize what you are? If you understood the message I'm trying to put out here, which is not even for everyone's consciousness to understand because of the way you've been living, chasing a masculine, you would never ever question your power in love again if you understand what I'm trying to tell you now. You are the divine gatekeeper, you are the selector, you get to choose who gets access to you. The question was not about if he wants you. Flip the script. Do you want him? Does he meet your standard? Does he value your presence? Does he respect you? Does he recognize what it means to stand before a woman of your magnitude? A queen does not beg to be chosen. She chooses. She chooses who gets access to her, who is worthy of her energy, the man who steps up, the man who moves with purpose, the man who has clarity. If he's interested, he will make it clear. He will make it known. His intentions, his actions will prove it to you. If he is inconsistent, distant, or unsure and no clarity, don't even try to convince him. Walk away. Like, you are not here as an option awaiting for anyone to choose you. If you know your worth, like really, you won't entertain such a behavior because a queen doesn't entertain such a behavior. If I ever find myself insecure in a relationship, if I ever find myself over explaining myself or trying to get his attention or validation, I already know this is over. The moment I feel the need to prove myself, I know I've lost myself. I know I've lost my mind. I know I've lost my power in the whole dynamics. It is not supposed to feel like a sales pitch. You don't have to convince him to see your value and see your worth. The right man recognizes it, the wrong ones don't. Someone out there is literally praying day in and day out for a woman like you. You are literally someone's dream girl. So stop wasting another minute over an indecisive man and explore another connection. Men respond to energy. It's how you make him feel in your presence. So the feminine is not about doing, it's simply about being. And a woman who is rooted in her self-worth does not wait or waste a minute over explaining why she deserves to be loved. She simply is. So the right man aligns and the wrong man resists. So if he is telling you you're too much, he is simply not attuned to receive your energy. His inability to meet you at your frequency is not a reflection of your self-worth, and you have to understand that. Have standards because your standards are the protection for your energetic boundary. It's about how you allow yourself to be treated. A man always treats you at a level you accept. The way he treats you is a matter of how he sees you, but it's a direct reflection of how you see yourself. The minute you make him the center of attention, he will take you for granted. Because the minute you start chasing, you shift to your masculine. The moment you stop prioritizing yourself, the moment you stop focusing on yourself and start pouring everything to him, they feel it. The weight of your energy feels like a burden to him. So instead of being drawn in, he starts to pull away. This doesn't mean he's constantly rejecting you. It's because you have abandoned your own gravitational pull. Feminine energy is meant to receive, and the moment you challenge your own force, you disrupt the entire balance. So you don't need to chase or try harder or try to get his attention, blah blah blah. You just have to focus on yourself because that's an energy. Masculine men like women who prioritizes themselves, who is rooted in themselves. So come back, return to your own alignment and see how the dynamic shifts. When I say don't make your man the center of attention, I don't mean in a manipulative, unhealthy way. I mean this in the most feminine, in the most healthy way. Because you are the center. Energy flows where attention goes. The moment you orbit around him, you lose yourself. Anything off balance just crumbles. The universe rewards alignment and not obsession. So you just be in your feminine. He'll be drawn to you because you are just being, focusing on yourself, your purpose and your life, and not getting into the masculine by chasing, pursuing, and doing. Okay, so that's everything I wanted to make you known as the feminine, like everything they never tell us or teach us, and you just learn by experience. And I wanted to put it out there because we all experience the same thing. We all are conscious beings. The lessons, the cycles, and the awakenings, they might all look different on the surface level, but on the core, it's very universal. We're all going and learning through the same things. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna help you there. And I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video.